How you prepare for a golf tournament?
Well, I hit balls maybe 20 minutes, putt a little bit, smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes, drink 3 Diet Cokes, and go to the first tee. Some days I won't even go to the range.
Do you think it's possible maybe before we start the show you could eat your breakfast, or do you want to just eat your breakfast during the show? I know it was a late night with Doobie Brothers, but...
Yeah, I only got 5 hours sleep last night. My wife last night was trying to help me with my knee, and
oh, is that what we call it?
Doing a Graston treatment and then icing it and putting a lotion on it. Well, I looked at the clock. It was like 12:30.
When you get old in your age, when you say, you guys in your older age, when you get a little frisky after going to the Doobie Brothers and smoking pot all night, is the knee code for your penis, or is that what it is?
Yeah. You're gonna go down that road, huh?
I am.
Yeah, and then I got to make sure that I've got the Cialis handy, and there's also the
did you?
What is it? Sildenafil citrate.
Yeah, I don't know. What about the blue
pill?
What about the blue pill?
I'm taking like 5 milligrams a day of the Cialis, and then so you can be ready at any time. Puck.
Okay, so are you ready at any time?
If that doesn't work all that well, then the guy told me to take 50 milligrams of Viagra on top of that.
On top, that seems like a lot. What's the downside here? Is there a side effect to this thing?
Death, maybe.
Well, that's always one of those side effects that you don't want.
If you die while you're having sex, like when you think about the ways to go that you can go,
would that be the number one?
Like down at the bottom of the list is having a shark take you to pieces, right, out in the ocean, or in a fire. That'd be painful.
Fire.
I've always thought when I die, I hope I'm either playing golf, having sex with my wife, or what's the other one? Oh, in my sleep.
Oh, just in your sleep.
Yeah, when they say someone dies in your sleep, you kind of go, all right, well, that probably wasn't that painful.
I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
You don't experience anything and you just don't wake up. I think that's
nobody really talks about ED, but it affects a lot of us. And so, when you're in your 60s, you got some issues. And so I'm trying to get in better health.
Does it work? Let me ask you something. Someone who's never taken it, does it work? It does.
At your age, try it at your age. Because I did it when I was in my 40s once.
Yeah.
I think I already mentioned this on the podcast.
And you were like a jackrabbit.
Yeah, and we were arguing about something. Oh, I know. I hadn't seen another girl at the time, and I hadn't exactly stopped seeing her. And so Kathy was kind of upset about that.
Wait, but were you married at the time, or were you not married? You were dating.
We were just going out, yeah.
Okay, you were courting her still.
Yeah, and then Kathy's sister's husband gave me a Viagra when I was probably early 40s. And yeah, you stand at attention awfully fast no matter what the conditions are at that point.
Okay.
Which is not always the case at 67, to be honest.
So you're not getting the payout right now.
No, well, yeah, there's a payout.
Okay.
But it's not, what it was when I was 42. Okay. Yeah. No one ever talks about this shit because it's embarrassing.
I'm just curious. I'd like to know.
Other guys out there with this issue, and I don't
of course there are. That's why why they sell it.
Yeah. Well, and then the other reason is like, hey man, I have an issue with it. Could we get for pucksports.com, just like Limback Lumber, get some sort of sponsor for me, I'll talk about Viagra or West Coast Men's Health or whatever you want me to talk about.
You can do anything you want. We'll sell anything for you. Jim Moore, folks, is open for business.
Yeah.
ED, whatever you want. So the Doobie Brothers, good. Contact high, secondhand contact high.
Oh, no, I had a great time. I was working the show. I was out there with the wand, and it's kind of funny because people my age going to a concert, they're not used to the electronic tickets or going through them. I mean, we all go through metal detectors at the airport, but God, everybody
they are used to it by now. How long have we been doing this for?
They get so upset. I'm sorry that we have to check your bag twice, but it always seems to get triggered by people with glasses, their glasses cases, because they're metal. And
Yeah.
then Altoids. Don't bring Altoids to a concert. No, it's not the mints. It's just the tin box they're in.
Well, do you know what's in the tin box?
What, metal, I guess.
It's not Altoids, I'll tell you that.
Well, no, and
that's where they keep their weed.
I know. Well, we open it up and see if there's mints or
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So but then anyway, I was playing air guitar out there by the garbage cans while people were exiting, and the Doobies were still playing, and my supervisor saw me playing the air guitar, and she goes, "Jim, just go in and watch the concert for a while."
Oh, there you
so
go.
I got to go in, and I heard China Grove and listen to the music and all their
good
hits.
for you.
What
a good boss.
They looked and sounded fantastic, especially Michael McDonald. He was awesome. But
nice.
It takes you back, and it was just fun to look around. There were 7,000 people there last night, and just seeing everybody just standing there, just having a blast, probably doing the same thing I was doing, thinking about, oh man, I can remember listening to the Doobies when I was in Gannon Hall and Pullman. I mean, it takes you back. It just takes you back.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for the city of Bend. Can we get show started now?
When are you coming down?
I promise soon. I'm before the fall is over. I'm coming down.
I mean, you like the golf here. I know you like the golf.
I love the city. It's got everything I want: golf, dogs, beer, white people. Love it all.
Everybody's happy here, except for the home prices.
Well, exactly.
And then the other thing, just to bring you up to date.
The neighbors.
We were served some papers that were not too kind.
You're out. They're kicking you out.
They basically said if there's one more transgression with the dogs going over to the neighbor's place, that we're going to serve you these papers. And so
it will serve you the papers mean you're out.
Yeah, and so we took action, and we decided we asked.
We put the dog. We took action. We took River and Sky over there, and we had them take giant shits all over the lawn.
No, we decided. We asked the owner if we could get out of our lease without reaching that point, and so we're gonna move. We're gonna be out of here by the end of the month.
Well, I think good for everyone, especially for the neighbors.
I know the guy next door is going to be thrilled about that, and this house is too expensive anyway. And we're in the Northwest Crossing neighborhood, and
I know where that's expensive.
Yeah, it's like the Bellevue of Bend, and shit. I don't want to be in the Bellevue.
You don't want to be over there.
Nah,
I don't want to be over there.
I don't.
No.
I'm not comfortable here. I'm not comfortable here, even though it's. I mean, again, the place is beautiful, but
go to Redmond.
So we're out. We're thinking about Redmond.
Yeah,
or
go to Redmond.
Sun River, maybe.
Sun River's a little far, but I mean, it's not
Redmond
too far.
And Sun River, they're both like 15 miles away. So
is Redmond really that far away? That doesn't feel that far away.
Well, you're on a freeway where you can go 65, so no, it doesn't take long to get there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Here we go. It's a Wednesday edition of the Daily Puck Drop, broadcasting from the Puck Sports Studios, built by Limback Lumber. Hey, contractors. They offer free delivery. Sounds like maybe there's a contractor at Jim's house right now. Free deliveries of everything from whole house package to homeowner DIY projects. They've got the largest stock moldings in the Northwest, old school service, because they've been doing it since 1930. Give them a call. Limback Lumber, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. So you're out of the house soon. All right.
Yeah, we're looking around. I'm going to look at a place at 1:00 today.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wish I had music to. This is where we need the music. This is the end for the Mariners. It's over. I mean, it's unbelievable on September 4th that the season is done. It's absolutely done. Unreal.
Yeah. Boy, 13 games over 500, a 10-game lead in the West, and now you're 6.5 back and 5.5 back. I heard you yesterday talking about Mitch Haniger's comments about, hey, we're better than the Tigers. Well, not anymore, Mitch.
Well, and I give you credit because you were right away. You said, "Are you sure they're better?" And I'm like, "Of course they're better." And like I scolded you. And you know who looks like the fool now? I do.
Oh yeah.
You were correct.
Yeah.
You called it first. You were like, "I'm not so sure they're that much better than the Tigers." And you know what? You're right.
You know, the other thing is, Puck, is that I kind of want them to miss the playoffs now, just so they can get Jerry out of here.
So do I. Does that make us bad fans?
If they somehow had some sort of surge and got back into it, wild card or winning the West if Houston faltered. And then, we'd have Jerry Dipoto around.
There's not a chance. Not a chance that they're going to do this. Like, the Astros have to play 500 ball. And the Mariners, Brad Adam gave it to me yesterday. There was 24 games left, right? God, what did he tell me? They have to go 12-12. What did he say? What did he tell me the record that they've got to go?
Well, the Mariners need to go 16-7 just to get to 85 wins.
I think he said like 18-4 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. Or 16-6. Like, there's not a chance in hell.
No, it's
God.
They need a complete cleaning of the house.
You think they'll do it though?
I'm pausing because it's so much of an I don't know.
You want me to give it? You want me to let you know? You want me to show you or let you see what Brad Adam thought? Because I asked Brad yesterday.
Well, no, I don't really want to see that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why?
I had it all keyed up for you.
No, I'll tell you why. Because I love Brad. You love Brad.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
But Brad works for Root Sports, and Brad, I don't think, can tell us like exactly what's on his mind. He can't do that.
I agree with you.
If I'm in his position, I'm doing the same thing because that's my job.
I agree with you. But I do think, like how he delivers it, you
can read between the lines a little bit?
Yeah. Let me just play it for you. Can I just play it for you?
I just thought I would.
I worked so goddamn hard to get it ready.
No, I thought I would change it up a little bit because usually when you say something like, hey, do you want to hear what Jim Duquette had to say? And I'm thinking to myself, well, not really, but I'm going to say yes because.
You just.
Because I'm supposed to say yes. It's a hanging curveball, and I'm supposed to swing at it. And,
You just want to make.
Let's hear Brad Adam. I can't wait.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that over again. Hey, Jim, would you like to hear from Brad Adam?
God, that'd be awesome, Puck. Can you play it?
Yes, here he is. Eventually. It's always a delay with this audio.
That's a possibility. I think that they look at, they've won average, 89 games the last 3 years. They're going to get to, I don't know what they're going to get to this year, in the 80s. So they're in playoff contention every year through September. They've got a great farm system, 1 or 2, I think, right, in baseball. They're making money. Maybe with the resources that they give the front office, they're pleased. So I think there's a lot that goes into those decisions that we don't know about. So, but just me saying right now, I think people would be back.
See, I'll just read between the. I'm just going to read between the lines with Brad, and this is my thoughts. They're gonna. There's I think a probability that they bring them back because honestly, it saves them money.
Brad, you could tell Brad was choosing his words carefully there.
Of course.
Because he's a broadcaster who can actually speak, unlike you and me. You could tell that there were some pauses in there where he didn't want to say anything to ruffle feathers either. And
I think that Dipoto can get in front of Stanton and ownership and can convince them that with a managerial change, and I'll be honest with you, until Brad told me this yesterday, and that's my fault for not really knowing this. I mean, I'm gone on vacation when they made the move and fired Service and brought in Dan Wilson. Great timing of me to leave.
Yeah, especially with the football season starting, trying to get a podcast started. Yeah, that was.
Well, it's been started for 5 months. Come on.
I'm going to give you shit, man. I'm just going to give you shit, and you're going to have to take it.
But is this Dan Wilson? This is Dan Wilson's job.
I know.
Do you know that? I mean, I guess I didn't know that until he brought that up to me yesterday. I go, what do you mean? I go, he's not the interim? He was like, no, this is his gig.
No.
He's the manager.
I think going in, when we got the first initial reports, Dan Wilson's going to be the manager. I think the assumption was that he was going to play out the rest of the season and then see how things were after that. And then Dipoto, though, right when he talked to the media, he said right away that, hey, listen, I don't want to put him in an interim role. That's not fair to him. He's the permanent manager. And now look at where they are. Like, do you really want Dan Wilson as the manager of the 2025 Mariners? Come on. Come on. I mean, we love Dan. We have to say this. There's always that asterisk or caveat like, hey, we love Dan Wilson. We will always love Dan Wilson. But when he was named manager, were you like, yeah, Dan Wilson, let's go? No,
well, I will say, but okay, no. Well, I've there's tape somewhere 5 years ago saying that he was going to be the manager of this team. Maybe
I know this. I know this doesn't matter, but did you ever go to Dan Wilson's locker in the clubhouse and expect a good quote or anything? I mean, he wasn't
the most quotable inside the clubhouse. No, but that doesn't mean he can't be a good manager. I don't know if he can be a good manager or not. I have no. He may be a very good manager. I don't know. He could be really good at this.
Okay,
but no one could manage this team right now because it's not good enough.
No, I know. Yes, you're right. You're right. And the problem now is if you get rid of Jerry, which if they don't get rid of Jerry,
oh my God,
come on, people got to stop.
Joke. It's a
people
joke
just
of a
really
franchise.
have to stop going to the games and watching them. I mean, that's the only way it's going to finally.
Can we
change.
officially put the end of the discussion that the rebuild was a success? I only had to listen to that for the last 5 years.
Well, and then the other part, if you go back and find the quotes, we will spend and we will do what's necessary when the time is right. Well, the time has been right for 2 years now, and that hasn't happened. So, okay, you get rid of Jerry. I mean, I think even John Stanton's bright enough to figure I'm calling him. It's not like I think John Stanton's a dummy. I think he's made billions. And, I'm sitting here making thousands, or, in this case with you, we're making nothing. So who am I to question his intelligence?
It's an emotional project that we're on right now. It's fun.
But this, the smartest guy in the room bullshit with Jerry has got to stop. It's got to stop.
He cannot be back. I know they're not serious about winning. I truly believe this about the ownership. But if there's anyone out there that's on the fence whether they really think that ownership's serious about winning, if they bring him back, they are not serious at all.
Okay, all right, okay. But let's say we're thinking, even though Brad's saying he probably will come back, you're thinking that'll probably happen given what the Mariner ownership is like.
I think it's a stronger possibility than people think.
Okay, but let's say they do get rid of him. Then what do you do with Dan Wilson? You bring the new guy in and you say, hey, Dan's our manager. You got to work with him. If I'm the new guy coming in, I'm thinking, wait a minute. I've got the whole offseason to find who I think is the best manager for this team. And if it's Dan Wilson, great. He continues. But if it's not, think of all the other I don't even know who the candidates are, but there's got to be a bunch of candidates out there that you'd go, hey, wait a minute. I think that guy might be better than Dan Wilson. And so why would you the new guy would have his hands tied again, not only with spending, but with Dan Wilson as the manager if he doesn't want him.
That's the problem with the ownership, though, because you're right, because clearly this move was made by them. They wanted Dan Wilson in. They wanted Scott Service fired. And they just told
Jerry.
Okay, maybe I don't know. I don't know that. That's my feeling. My feeling is that this
okay, go ahead.
My feeling was it was made by them.
I think Jerry did it to save his own ass.
Okay.
I don't think he was told by Stanton, get rid of Scotty. I don't think he was told by Stanton. I really don't. I think Jerry was like, oh, Jesus, I got to do something here. This is not looking good. And
well, I think maybe this could be plausible. Stanton comes to Jerry and goes, hey, we need to do something. Like if you don't get rid of him, we'll get rid of both of you. I don't know. I think you're right. I think Jerry's very good at talking.
No, he's excellent.
And so I think he gets in front of those guys, and I think he can still convince Stanton and Larson and whoever else owns this team. We're doing it right. Just don't worry. You watch if he stays, okay? You watch, and we'll move the goalposts again. We'll move the goddamn goalposts again because you watch what the narrative now will turn into. The narrative will now turn into, look at all this young talent coming up. Look, I'm convinced whoever runs Mariners Minors on Twitter works for the team. Because they tweet out nonstop all these highlights of these guys. Okay?
Is it possible, like if Jerry does stay, And at his first press conference after the season's over, and Stanton has announced that Jerry Dipoto is going to get another shot. Can we have a reporter? I'm not. They won't let me into these things anymore.
Are they going to block you like the Colorado has blocked that one columnist?
Are you a big enough deal now with Pucksports.com where we
Sure.
can get credentials, do you think?
I've got credentials in a Mariners game. I've got credentials from Seahawks.
Have you? Okay. All right. Well, then I'll try and get one and, pretend I'm like the full-time sidekick.
What do you want to ask?
Like, Jerry, do you feel fortunate that you still have your job? And then I want to hear what his answer is.
I think that's a legitimate question. Why do you deserve to get a 10th year?
Yeah, and he's so good with the syllables that he'll, spit something out that you'll kind of go, all right, that makes sense if I didn't know he was such a bullshitter. Yeah. I mean, you're right though. I remember Stanton one time when I talked to him, he couldn't believe how smart Jerry was.
I think that there's a high probability he can convince that ownership to bring him back. And keep in mind, now this is the interesting part about it. We have Divish on today. He's in the last year it's widely reported both were in the last year of their deals. So they could easily just move on from Dipoto. Easily. They don't owe him anything. Done. But imagine if they say, no, we're bringing him back. They've got to give him a freaking contract extension. They've got to re-sign him.
Okay. You're forced to bet one way or the other. Does Jerry stay or does Jerry go? I would have to bet.
I would bet he stays.
Well, do you want to make a bet on it then?
I would gladly give you
me
money.
50. I haven't seen the 50.
Oh, do I still owe you? Okay, you know what? I'm going to pay it to you right now.
That series in Detroit, remember?
That's right. You know what? I haven't paid you.
We're going to lose that.
Are you
series.
on Venmo again? Hey, give out your Venmo again so everyone can just send you money.
Yeah,
randomly.
somebody gave me some money. It was really nice. A couple somebody's like $5.
What was it again?
I think it's Jim-Moore-106.
It's Jim. Here, can I show it to everyone?
Yeah, I don't care.
Can everyone see that, or is that being blocked out by the light? You can't see it with the light.
I think it's Jim-Moore-106.
You're exactly right. Jim-Moore-106. If you'd like to send the go-to guy some money, he's moving.
Yeah.
He needs some money for the movers.
And I'm just trying to make it now on unemployment benefits and yeah. That's about it.
No, we've got some deals
and
cooking
Social
for you.
Security.
Some deals are coming. Money's coming your way.
I'm talking to the Bat Shree guy about maybe getting paid in ice cream.
Well, I'll just have him pay in cash.
No, well, ice cream would be okay, wouldn't it?
Ice cream would be great.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love ice cream?
Yeah. All
right, so okay, I sent you the $50. What do you want to bet?
Well, you want to go another 50? You really would bet that the Mariners are going to keep Jerry Dipoto?
Sure. Yeah, well, they're stupid, so yeah.
I'll go 100 on that.
Okay, let's go 100.
God, I thought I was a guppy. They can't possibly keep him. They can't.
You have watched these guys since day one of their organization, this ownership group. You telling me they haven't done dumber stuff than this?
So you think he'll just talk about, look at the pitching staff I brought in here and created and developed, and then look at the players we have coming up?
Yes. I don't even know all those guys, but who's the guy that's been hitting all the home runs lately? The Montas guy? Who is it? I'm telling you, I think you watch, hold on, I'm going to put MLB Pipeline Mariners. I can't remember that guy's name.
And then you think, the one thing that might save him is like going to Stanton and saying, look, man, it's not my fault this team was as shitty as it was offensively. Yes. It's your fault because you haven't given me enough money to do what I need to do.
I don't think he'll say that.
Well,
I think he'll just say,
but in nicer words.
I think he'll throw the blame. I think he'll shift the blame on Service and say Scott Service wasn't doing exactly what we were telling him. I think he'll go into Stanton if he saves his job, and you watch. If he saves his job, you watch. And I will timestamp this September 4th, and the narrative will start to shift about not World Series and not all this other championship, but the young talent that's coming up, that's almost here. and he'll start talking about Baltimore and how they have brought up all this young talent. Now we're bringing up all this young talent, and you'll start hearing the names of Colt Emerson more and Cole Young and the one guy I couldn't remember, that Lazaro Montez and Harry Ford. He'll say, this is the next wave that's going to make us a championship caliber team. I will bet every penny and money in my bank account that's what the storyline and narrative will be, because he's just so good at it. And then these people that love to move the goalposts, they'll just sop it up. They'll love it.
I swear to God, honest to God, I swear to God, if let's say it's Jerry Dipoto was, just some fat, crummy looking guy that didn't speak that well.
Are you talking about me?
I mean, just think if his appearance was different than what it is, and
so
think if he didn't talk as well as he talks, and this fat guy that doesn't look very well and doesn't talk very well. Still did all these different things that Dipoto did with, the great starting rotation, and bringing, getting the team to the playoffs 2 years ago. If he still accomplished all those things, do you think that guy would still have his job? I think there's something to it with Jerry having that appearance of,
I don't doubt that. You know what? No, I mean, as silly as it sounds, and you've said things that are much sillier. I kind of buy it.
No, I think if he was just a fat fuck and just and just had his hair going everywhere, didn't have the gel in it, and was unshaven and had a cut, hanging over his belt.
I think he's
and just talk like you and me and spitting out words and fumbling all over the place. Oh. He wouldn't have this job still.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. I mean, I don't know. They're 23 to go now, 6.5 out in the West, 5.5 out in the wild card spot.
You know what I'm hoping? I mean, and
they finished under 500?
No, this is me speaking as someone who's been fired twice, and I carry bitterness. It lingers, and I root against people who fired me. Okay, so if you're Scott Service, Jared DeHart, Brant Brown, I hope they're all getting together, watching the games at Service's house or wherever they're watching it, having beers and getting a good chuckle out of this, because it's not their fault. It wasn't their fault.
No.
And maybe people will say, well, yeah, Jim, wait a minute. They were the ones that were incorporating this hitting philosophy that has led to the, record pace for strikeouts. So maybe there was something to that. But what has Edgar done? And I mean, we can.
I loved how everyone got so excited after 2 games when Julio hit back-to-back home runs, and I'm watching Twitter going, boy, that Edgar effect. Well, where's it been now?
Again, we all love Edgar.
We do love him. I mean, God, yes.
But get him out of the dugout. Get Wilson out of the dugout. I'm sorry. I don't want this throwback crap anymore from the Mariners.
Yeah.
And get the damn Trident out of there too. I'm sick of the Trident. Well,
that's a good question. Hey, you know what I just thought about?
Jim, the no fun guy.
But if they start losing, they are losing. They're falling out of it. Should we just retire the Trident right now? It's kind of fun when you're winning, but it's not fun when you're losing.
And they need to have give the guy the Trident if it's a game tying homer or a go ahead home run or a grand slam. But if you're down 5 runs and you hit a home run, you're out. Need to pass out the Trident.
You know what the play yesterday?
Trident's up.
Trident's up. I know. I use that sometimes, and I feel like such a dick. You know what the play was last night that I just thought that I've watched over and over again that just pretty much sums up the Mariners season?
What, Rosarina coasting into second?
Unbelievable.
On board with 1 out here in the 9th.
Look at this.
Justin Turner has arrived on deck.
This is the season.
It's
right there. That's the season.
Second base, Randy is out.
And it's going to be a strikeout.
Walking into second base.
Went in, standing up, and he pulled up in front of the bag at second base.
That's the Mariners' season right there.
Well, and then Luke Raley on Sunday, not sliding into second.
But at least he owned up to it, and I understood. I understood it.
Hey, where are we with the Rosarina? I mean, there's a chance that all these GMs, like Polanco, I think the Twins realized that he was probably pretty close to.
What do you mean, like money? Like, what are you going to spend
Well,
on
no,
money-wise?
I just like we always think Jerry's so smart, but I mean, Minnesota probably knew that Polanco wasn't going to be the player that he once was when they let him go. Didn't re-sign him, and then Rosarena. I know I was excited about it. I think most people were like, "What a great acquisition!" But where are we on Randy Rosarena right now? I mean, maybe Tampa Bay had an idea that this guy, and I'm not so sure about his attitude either. Are you? Like the stepping out of the box all the time? Like, what the fuck is all that about?
Who did he anger? He angered A.J. Przinsky when I was gone because he went in the Tampa Bay clubhouse. I thought that was, again, I've never been a baseball player, clearly. I thought that was a little ridiculous. There's some code that if you used to play for the team, you can't go in the clubhouse.
No, I've never heard of that one.
I wouldn't. I think one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
I wouldn't criticize him for that,
Who
but
cares?
Some of his at bats just are weird. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he might not be as good as what he used to be, but he's still young enough that it's still a decent acquisition. But I don't know long term if he's going to be. What he once was.
To piggyback on what Brad said about the front office, that he thinks he'll come back. You know what's going to happen to this team? This is where they're at right now in this offseason, and then the next year or 2 and 3 is probably one of the most pivotal next few years in the history of this organization. Why? They are about to get in financial hell. And this organization has proven year in and year out they don't like to spend like the big boys. They just don't. They cut money this last year. I think there's a good chance they bring Dipoto back because they want to save money and not have to go buy and spend new. Listen, they haven't replaced Katie Griggs yet. I bet you they don't replace her. Why pay 2 presidents? When you know what I mean? So Rosarena is arbitration eligible the next 2 years, so he made $2.8 million this year. These are all the players that are about to hit arbitration. They ain't going to pay any. I mean, they'll pay a couple of them. Okay, Logan Gilbert, arbitration next 3 years. He made $4 million this year. Well, that's going to go up. George Kirby, next year's the first arbitration for the next 4. I mean, my God, you were talking about the best young pitchers in baseball. Cal Raleigh, next year's the first year of arbitration. The guy's making minimum wage, $785,000. Next 3 years. This guy, it's no chance. I'm convinced, no chance that he resigns here. It's over.
Well, and you're talking about players. You're talking about players that are going to make $20 million or more a season.
Exactly. They're not. Bryce Miller, he's pre-arbitration for the next 2 years. Same thing with Brian Wu. We told you about a Rosarena, arbitration eligible the next 2 years. You owe Mitch Garver $12.5 million next season. You owe Mitch Haniger $16 million. Julio now goes up from $11 million this year all the way up to $19 million. You owe Luis Castillo $72 million for the next 3 years. J.P. Crawford, who has had one good year in his career. One good year. You owe him $11 million next season, 23 over the next 2. They are in financial shitstorm.
Well, and I think most fans probably realize that because this is a once in a lifetime rotation, and you've got they're cost controlled like Russell Wilson was the first 4 years.
Yeah.
And then, I was just thinking about, like, let's say the same 5 starters are the 5 starters next year. Well, you're talking about how much money they're going to have to pay some of these guys. And then the injuries they somehow avoided this year. There's going to be 1 or 2 injuries to that starting rotation next year. And, down the stretch here, we might, once they're eliminated anyway, we might start seeing that Wu won't pitch anymore and Miller won't.
Well, should they shut down Andres Munoz?
And,
think about
that. They should shut down Munoz, too. He's got a sore elbow.
If he can only pitch if they have the lead because of his elbow, why is he pitching at all then?
Mm-hmm. I thought the same thing.
Just shut him down then. Why ruin it?
Trent Thornton's probably a really nice individual, but I don't want to see him on the squad next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done. Hey, let me get a quick Cal Raleigh appreciation post. He set the franchise record. I freaking love the guy. I hope he signs here. But honestly, maybe for the best thing for him is to not to sign here. He deserves to play on a winner.
I got a kick out of it. There was a guy on Twitter today that said, and he's probably right. It's like nobody wants to play here, including our current players. I mean, that's like why? Really, why? If you're a hitter, why would you want to play here?
I don't know. I just they.
If you're a pitcher, yeah. It's like if I'm a pitcher, I don't want to sign with Colorado. My agent calls me and says, "Hey, I got a deal with the Rockies. No thanks."
But the problem with their pitching, they are 2 full runs worse on the road than at home. So this whole thing where they struggle, whatever, like the batter's eyes off or like the mound is skewed, like as much as it hurts the offense, it benefits the pitchers.
I'm with you on trading Castillo. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons to do that. I mean, they're paying him as much money as they are.
Well, was there a report or a rumor when I was gone about Logan Gilbert?
Oh, if there was, I missed it too.
Good Lord.
You don't want to trade Logan Gilbert.
Can we move on to something that we love?
What, Cougar football, Cougar basketball, Cougar baseball?
Cougar football, real quick. Coming out later today, we'll release our 2 Cougar podcasts. One, the Old Crimson podcast. I'm
not so sure about the name of that one.
I like Old Crimson.
Like
I'm old too. I'm 48.
Puck the Huskies is awesome. This is great. The garbage truck. This is good timing right now.
Crimson, the Old Crimson, with myself, Jim Moore, and Paul Sorensen will be out at 1:00 today. Great laughs, great stories. There is an unbelievable. I want to play it, and maybe I'll play it. Did I put it in here to play it? I don't think I did. I can upload it though. Of Jim losing his mind about trying to stream a game.
Well,
it's an all-timer.
I shouldn't have sworn.
Oh,
but you reach that point. You reach that point.
Well, I mean, of course you do.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it, and I'm going to play it for our listeners. But no, I wanted to play. Also, coming out today at 1:00 is another installment of Cougar Corner, which is brought to you by Flat Stick Pub and then the Cougar Collective, where 5 times during the season we'll talk to Jake Dickert. In fact, Jake Dickert will be coming back on the show next week because he's coming on the week of the Apple Cup, which is crazy. September 14th, we're playing the Apple Cup. But he'll make 5 appearances throughout the season. We'll have various coaches and then players. But today's player that's coming on today that will be released at 1:00 Cougs Corner is our starting quarterback, Fear Mateer, Johnny Mateer, who I have had a crush on for 2 years.
Yep.
And love John Mateer to death. And I caught up with him yesterday. It was a great interview, fun interview. He's a fun person. He's a fun dude, like gets it. He has an endorsement deal with a barbecue spot in Pullman called Miss Huddy's. Just awesome. And, he said something, and I'm going to play this clip. And when he was talking about it, I'm like, oh, man, he might get in trouble with the coaches. But then he turned it around to make it a positive. But I don't know. I really loved what he said because it was honest. And I asked him about, how did he feel about the quarterback competition? Because what I assumed when Cam Ward left, it's John Mateer's job.
Yeah.
But then they bring in the Zevi Eckhouse, and he competes with them. And I asked John, how he felt about that. And you know what? It was refreshing to hear him answer the way that he answered.
That one really pissed me off, I won't lie, because, it's good. That's exactly what they wanted, and I worked hard. Because at the beginning, I was like, okay, that's exactly what I expected too. I was like, okay, I haven't done anything wrong. Yeah. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to go attack this, and I'm going to do it, and it's going to make me better in the end, which I believe it has. But I learned that, through healthy competition, because it was a healthy competition. Zevi's a great dude. He really is. And he was encouraging me Saturday because now it's no longer, we're on the same team, right? We want to win. But I learned a lot of good things, and I really learned that I can do this.
I just love that he admitted that when they brought him in and didn't give him the job right away, that it pissed him off.
Yeah.
I like that because it's honest.
No, it is honest, and you're never going to get that. Well, I shouldn't say never because we just did.
But you don't get it a lot. Guys will, oh no, it was, I knew I had to earn it. But he was honest and said, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
I thought I've earned it for the last 2 years. And then they bring in another guy, and F that, man.
Yeah. No,
but then
it was my turn. I've been patient. And yeah, but I understand where Dickert's coming from, have a little competition coming in. And
sure.
But yeah, I didn't really like hearing that. I thought, then again, I thought, if this Zevi kid is better than Mateer, then let's see him. But boy, Mateer, what a great debut that he had, especially after the slow start, going 1 for 6, and then his average yards per completion, it was just off the charts. So yeah. I know it was Portland State, but still really encouraging going into this Texas Tech game. Puck, we talked about it on the Old Crimson podcast, how important this game is. We all agreed that it's a must-win, especially this year. In previous years, this game against Texas Tech would not be a must-win game. But the situation we're in now with the Pac-2 and trying to figure all that out with the Beavers, and we got to be – I typically, for myself, I hate talking about, oh, God, I want to remain relevant, and all that. But that's really what our Cougs need to be doing. We have to be relevant and then some to attract the attention of these Power 4 or 5 conferences.
Yeah. So both those podcasts, the Cougs Corner with John Mateer, and then the Old Crimson with Paul Sorensen and the great Jim Moore will be out later today, 1 o'clock. We'll drop those. The Huskies podcast will come out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
With Elise
we got to wait around for that one.
Well, I thought we'd give our show a day to breathe, and we'll bring in the Huskies. Okay. Jordan has a message for you. Probably at the end of that podcast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's already geared up for the Apple Cup next week. Maybe I'll bring you on as a special guest.
I'm telling you, we're going to win that sucker by double digits. And it's not just popping off this year. It's not popping off. We're the better team. Did you tell Mateer how much you love him?
I think when I looked into his eyes.
Or were you like Mr. Professional broadcaster guy that was,
Well, I thought at the end of it when I said, John, before you go, I just want to tell you, I love you. I think that was pretty clear.
Okay. Hey, good-looking kid, too. Good Lord.
I bet he's doing okay on the Palouse. When I was there last Saturday, walking around, Jesus, mother of God. Yeah, I'm sure he's okay. Can you
imagine him at the end of the season, though? The end of the season, people are going to be coming at him with 7 figures, and what he's going to say, thank you, but I really like the family culture atmosphere in Pullman and my barbecue endorsement. Yeah. I'm going to stay in Pullman. Thank you very much.
Well, Jim, that's why it's a good time to donate to the Cougar Collective, which brings you the Cougs Corner and also the Old Crimson podcast.
I got to do
Collective, 1890 Club. You can join just for $18.90.
I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do the 1890 thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Contribute.
How many 1890s do we need to keep Mateer there?
I don't know, man. Just write a big check to keep him. I asked him if he thought about the portal. He said no. He said never thought about the portal. He goes, the only time I would have considered it is if Cam had come back. Had Cam come back, I would have looked at it. But he goes, I knew early on that he wasn't going to come back. So he told me, and so I was, convinced that he wasn't coming back. So. Hey, real quick before we leave us, go read Michael Shandugar's piece. It came out today on The Athletic about Geno Smith. I'm going to tell you, everybody in this world should have the confidence level that Geno Smith has in himself, because he really does view himself as like a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
Even though that no one else thinks that.
Well, I was surprised today when I looked at the Ringer ranking of quarterbacks, and I thought, well, I wonder where Geno is. And I thought I'd be scrolling.
Where'd they
He's
have
number
him?
10. Number 10.
Huh. Yeah,
number 10, Geno Smith. He's right behind Aaron Rodgers at number 9 and just ahead of Stroud at number 11.
Okay. Well, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the rankings, though, because they had Minshew at 31. So
well, clearly not 31. Hey, what do we? My kids really asked me, should we not like Minshew anymore because he took the picture with Trump?
Oh no, I'm still gonna like him.
I say, guys, you can still like him. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son got really up in arms about it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, those are separate things.
I know.
Gardner,
Yeah.
the football player, Gardner, the
That's
cool
what
guy.
I'm just thinking. Gardner, the football player, and the cool guy. Speaking of the kids, you missed out on this because you're done with this, right? You're done with it. First day of school today. They're back. First day of school. We got a sophomore and now a middle schooler, 6th grader for the Vampire, who then now, as he's a 6th grader going into middle school, has decided to start wearing cologne. And boy,
no,
not just a little bit of cologne. It is as if we poured a whole 15,000 bottles in the bathtub, and he jumped in there and swam around and then came out. He put on so much cologne today that he went upstairs to we have a fan, because when it gets hot, right? And he's standing in front of the fan. He's like, well, maybe if I stand in front of the fan, it'll get all the cologne I put on. I'm like, how many sprays did you do, buddy? 3? Like, it's too much.
What kind is he using?
Oh, it's called Bad Boy.
When was the last time you personally used cologne?
High school.
I'm gonna say 45 years ago for me.
High school for me. I told him the little trick, right? Just take the spray, one spray on your wrist, rub your wrist together, a little bit on the neck, and then wipe it on your chest. That's the way to do it, right? Or do you just do one spray?
I don't know. It seems to me when I did it before, I put it behind my ears on the neck. I think women put it on their wrists though, like you were showing there.
Yeah. Okay. That's a woman.
Okay. I don't get cologne with guys. I don't get that.
Well, you did it in high school, probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's
doing.
fine what he's doing. I think Stevie does it a little bit. But no, do you still do the thing where it's like first day of school and you hold up a card? Like,
we've never in the history of our kids have done that. And we'll never do it. I just can't stand that. It's so dumb.
Although it is kind of cool when it's a senior year of high school and you see the girl in her last year and then you also see the one from kindergarten.
Well.
It's kind of cute.
Maybe I'm wrong, but no.
Yeah. Hey, Owen's going to do well with the ladies there in middle school. He's got that big head of hair. He's got a great personality.
That's the thing with the cologne. We're wondering who the cologne is for.
Yeah. He's got his eyes on somebody.
Of course he does. That's what I'm intrigued about.
Yeah.
Really, really intrigued about that. And by the way, coming out on Friday when we do Friday's show, we'll have our first opening line for the Inter Bay Eagles as they take on Everett Saturday afternoon.
Okay, I'll take Everett and lay the lumber, whatever the line is.
Really?
Yeah, I will.
You know who's playing quarterback for the Inter Bay Eagles?
Owen Puckett.
Cologne boy.
Is he? Okay, then I can't bet against Inter Bay.
You can't bet against
if your kid's the quarterback. Is he like Mateer? Is he like Mateer?
Like Mateer, but like if a dump truck was on his back running.
I remember you were talking about that in baseball, but he probably can. He's probably versatile.
He's gotten a little faster. But
yeah. Can he run the RPO and?
They run a little RPO. They throw the ball a little bit. They got a big offensive line. They are going to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They're big. They're physical. They're big.
Yeah.
They're gonna out physical some teams. So it'll be fun. You get started. I'm gonna miss the Texas Tech game. I'm gonna give you my tickets. The game starts at 4:30. Good Lord.
I'll tell you, Puck, just soak it all in,
I know.
man.
I
already, I'm happy Mikey's over at WSU and he's not playing baseball anymore, but God, I already miss thinking about next spring. That was all we did, go to baseball games, watch your kids play.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to miss it too. All right, let's wrap up the Daily Puck Shop with Hey What the Puck. It's brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Hey What the Puck. We usually do a sports story or a non-sports story. Doesn't matter, just whatever kind of floats our boat. Here's a non-sports story. Etiquette at the shopping mall. I got a couple of questions with the etiquette at the shopping mall. Okay, I went to the outlet mall the other day up in Tulalip. Okay, and one thing I noticed, and what's the etiquette of once you have got your bags and you're going to continue to shop? the etiquette of going, especially when it's a full parking lot, and you've got the cars that are all circling, right, trying to find a place to park. And I encountered something similar when we were at Glacier National Park. What's the etiquette of going back, having a shopping bag, or going back to your car with the appearance that you are getting in your car to leave, but you're not? You're just putting bags back into your car, and you walk away. That's like false advertisement for the people that are circling because they see somebody walking out with bags, so they start slowing down, put on their blinkers or their hazards, and then that person just puts the bags in the car and goes, oh, no, I'm not leaving, and they go back to shop. My point is this, Jim. I think once you have committed to leaving said mall or business to go back to the parking lot to get to the car, you've given up your rights to the parking spot, you're out.
I can see both sides on that one because, like, if you're school shopping, you've got a million different bags. It depends on the number of bags you have and how heavy they are because you still have shopping to do.
But it's false advertisement. You're this
yeah,
that poor
because
person.
if you're that guy waiting for a spot, you see the person with the bags, you're going, oh, okay, all right, I'll just see where they're parked and then take their spot.
You know what?
I thought you were going to say how long do you have to wait before you put it in reverse and get out of the parking spot.
I'm going to get to that too because that's number 2. But before I get to that, that's number 3. Number 2 is, what about the person that just comes out there and sits in their car? Family shopping, but they don't want to shop, so they just go sit in their car.
Yeah, I think that's okay if you're in the outer reaches of the parking lot, but if you're closer to
in the
main
main spot.
Yeah.
The main spot, not okay.
Yeah. I get it. You know what I get a kick out of? It's like people are so damn afraid to walk a few extra steps. Like,
I know.
When I go to a parking lot, I don't want to be right next to the guy on my left and to my right. I see an open spot in that parking lot, and I'm going, okay, I'm going to go back there.
I go far away.
And I'm going to walk an extra 30 or 40 steps, but I'm going to go out there where I can open my door and get out and not worry about door dinging another guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it, though. And then people, just have to be so damn close, they don't want to walk very far. I don't get it.
And to your point, the third thing is, why does it take people so long, so bloody long to get in their car, start the car, put it in reverse, and get the hell out of there? What's the holdup? Jim, I'm honest with you. I treat it like an Olympic event. How fast can I get in the car, in reverse, out, and let the other car come in? Like, I time myself. Can I get under 10 seconds?
Yeah.
People sit in there for it feels like an hour.
Well, they're looking at their phone, catching up on texts, doing whatever. Yeah.
I think you should ram them. I think you should be able to ram them.
I'm with you on that, Puck.
And I think, I think also the last thing here on Hey What the Puck is I think we need to figure out these streaming services, I think, in college football. It's got to get better.
Okay, well, listen to me for a second. Fuck all of that shit, okay? Excuse my French, but I try. What? Okay, somebody says go find it on YouTube, and then you get to YouTube. There's YouTube Premium, and there's YouTube TV. Well, fuck you with that. Just give me one YouTube.
YouTube TV.
YouTube. I don't want 3 fucking YouTubes. I just want the damn Cougar game. God.
Because you are an American treasure. That was on the Old Crimson podcast that will come out at 1:00 today. Jim ranting about YouTube.
Hey, speaking of rants, did you see Brian Kelly?
Oh, the fake one? Fake pounding the table?
That was so stupid.
It was like John McLaren.
It was I thought the same thing, Puck. It was just like John McLaren. He was fake mad.
So
pounding the table. What a joke
fraud.
that guy
is.
is.
That dude is an absolute fraud. He's a fraud.
I mean, I was actually mad at YouTube. I don't think he was so mad at his team with what he was doing.
What you showed was pure anger. That was anger.
God, I still haven't found CW. I still haven't found it.
Go to Canzano's article, and there's a there's a CW channel.
I emailed him. I've done all of that.
You'll find it. It's there. All right. That's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Let them help you. They're the restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage when it affects your residential or commercial property. Online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. It's a long one. We went 50-plus minutes. When we do this stuff live next week, we're going to have to tidy it up. But I don't know if we can. I don't know. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, how are you doing that anyway? So you're going to have me on like at 10 and then, just say, see you later, Jim, at 10:30 or something?
Well, that's up to you. We need to, we can discuss this more on Friday or off the air. Like, how much do you want to be a part of it? I think, it's up to you. I'm leaving the ball in your corner, how much you want to be on or not on.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
your call.
All
You're
right.
the best. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with the moving in the new house.
Okay. Thanks, Buck. Take care.
All right, there he is, the go-to guy. That is the Daily Puck Drop on Wednesday, September 4th. We appreciate you watching and listening again on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. We would appreciate all of it. Again, coming up later today, you'll have Ryan Divish's episode dropping at 1 o'clock, along with the whole Old Crimson podcast, as well with the Cougs Corner with John Mateer. Until then, we'll talk to you later. As always, we promise to be better.
Shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!